Hi, Thomas from Field Tennis. What do you think is the most important element of tennis that makes the ball consistently land on the other side of the court? Is it the unit turn, or swinging low to high, or hitting with topspin? Is it watching the ball? Is it hitting well in front? No, none of this. The most important element of tennis that makes the ball go in is intention. You must have a very clear intention of what you want to do with the ball. And by intention, I mean that you must have a very clear trajectory of how you want your shot to go and where you want your shot to land. So let's say I'm going to demonstrate this now. I'm imagining that I'm going to hit the ball about a meter above the net. I'm going to hit 1.5 meters from the sideline, 1.5 meters from the baseline, and I'm going to hit with some topspin, not maximum topspin, but some topspin. I'm going to try and make the ball go like that. So I missed, and now I'm adjusting. I'm still maintaining. Okay, so that's more the ball I was trying to hit. Okay, and so with a few repetitions, I'm finding the ball that I'm imagining. And so before you're making a shot, you must have a very clear intention of exactly how you want the ball to go. You might think that it's your technique that puts the ball in, but improving your technique simply makes it much more efficient. So you will hit with much less effort, and yes, proper technique gives you more ball control, so it's easier to control the ball. But that doesn't mean that the racket is going to control the ball by itself just for you. You will have to tell your racket what you want to do with the ball. And you do that by imagining, by having a very clear intention what you want to do with the ball. And oftentimes, thinking about technique causes us problems, because when we're thinking about technique, we are not thinking how we want to hit the ball. We're thinking maybe, you know, I want to lift my racket and then I want to get under the ball and so on. And then you're swinging, and then the ball is a little bit random. It's not going exactly very consistently how you want it. And you will make the ball go consistently where you want it by having a very clear and very early intention, which is what you're going to see in part 2. But for now, a very clear intention. So you must know the height, you must know the depth, you must know the speed and so on. But instead of thinking of all these elements, you can just think about a trajectory. So you're just imagining, I want my ball to go like this and land there. So how can you work on an intention? Here's a little exercise, like a little diagnostics exercise, that is going to tell you how you're doing in this part of the game, namely having a clear intention. So I've put 2 targets on the other side. I'm going to try and aim for the left one. And now before I hit my stroke, I'm going to have a very clear intention, like a very clear trajectory of how I want my ball to fly. So I can imagine the height. I know with how much topspin I want to hit. So now I've like programmed the trajectory in my mind, and then I'm going for the shot. So it was very close to what I was aiming for. So I'm going to switch my target now to the right one. And again, I'm imagining the trajectory very clearly. I know by how much I want to clear the net. I know how fast I want to hit, and then I'm doing my stroke. And again, I'm switching to the other side. So I have the trajectory and I'm going. And then I'm switching to this side. I know how I want my ball to fly. I have a very clear picture, and I'm doing my stroke. And so this is your first step, just taking your time, starting in very easy conditions and imagining as clearly as possible the ball flight into which you want to send your ball. And then the next step is rallying with your friend, or if you have a coach feed you some balls left and right, and then comparing your ability to have a clear and early intention with this, which is like a benchmark. This is how it should be. It should be that clear. You should have enough time. Okay, this is how I want to hit the ball. You must know exactly the trajectory, the height, the speed, the depth where you want to hit. And then you compare that in these easy conditions, then you compare that in slightly more difficult conditions, which is when your coach is feeding you balls left and right, or when you're just rallying with your partner, and then checking with yourself, are you able to so quickly when the ball is coming, create this clear intention, this clear trajectory in your mind? If you are not, then the main reason for missing your strokes is not technique, it is lack of clear intention. You must tell your racket exactly what you want it to do to the ball, so that the ball will fly how you want. Again, technique does not make the ball go in, it simply makes you hit more efficiently, and it makes it easier to control the ball, but you will still have to have a very clear intention of how you want the ball to fly, how high above the net, and where you want the ball to land.
Yeah. A lot better.
So what was the difference between this, when I'm asking you a very clear intention in this drill, compared to your usual play?
Well, it seemed to. I mean, what was the different result, or the different?
Yes. You said it's a lot better.
Yeah,
so
the execution was much closer to what I had in mind.
yes.
Before it started, because I had a clear picture of what I was going to do, and thinking only of that,
Yes.
it came closer. I mean, I was almost hitting the
Exactly.
cones.
You were almost hitting the cones.
Yeah.
Yes. And what was before that in your mind as you were hitting, before this drill?
It was nothing in particular.
Okay.
Just over. You know,
Okay.
getting it over was the
Yes.
only thing, and so it was just anything could happen.
And probably just direction more, just general.
Yeah, generally
Yes.
cross court, but
Yes.
nothing more than that. Not even depth. Just
Okay.
cross court.
Yes. Okay. Very good. So clear intention is very important, right?
Yeah, that was a great drill. I mean,
Yes.
it really showed. I mean, I thought, what's going on here?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's great.
And you were, because we were playing a live ball, you had to make a very quick decision, right? Because
Yeah.
I didn't see that you were late, right? You were just on time. Okay, I didn't give you the fastest ball in Slovenia.
Yeah.
I gave you a nice ball, but I can read your intention pretty early.
Yeah,
So you were-
yeah, as soon as it was coming, I
Yes.
had in my mind that cone or
Okay,
that cone,
yes,
and
exactly.
then the rest just followed along. It
Yes.
was just didn't think about that
Yes.
or that. It just was in my mind to go there, and then everything else followed along.
Yes. The intention must not only be very clear, it must be made very early. So your decision of how you want to play the ball must be made very early, ideally before the ball lands on your side of the court. And I'm going to show you a couple of clips now where you will see how I work on that and what a big difference this is between a slightly less skilled player and a highly skilled player, how much difference there is in how early they make their decision. The drill for early intention goes like this. Dave can play anywhere in the court, whereas I have to play everything to his forehand corner. The only instruction I gave to Dave is that he has to call out the direction as soon as he makes his decision.
Cross. 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 Down. Down. Cross. Cross. Down. Cross. Down. Calling it out right away. As soon as even when it's leaving your racket, it makes me realize I'm not making a decision ordinarily, or making it very late, and maybe not at all. So to say it right away kind of clears the deck.
Yeah, so anytime, even anytime you were self-correcting along the way. So anytime you make a decision, at first, because I don't give you like a rule when you have to make a decision, I'm just asking you to call out.
Yeah,
So it's more your self-discovery of, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the times when I would say, like, down, I realized that those shots didn't go as well because the decision was maybe after impact.
Yeah, well, you called out. You might have a decision, but it is true that because, you know, hitting a nasty bouncing ball is not easy to do. Our brain is fully taxed with calculation, right? So it's difficult to push in a word.
Yeah.
Being able to say something.
But even on those, if I make the decision earlier,
yes,
that's out of the way.
Exactly.
And then I've got nothing but the concentration to do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good drill.
All right. Like now we're going to switch roles.
Okay.
So
I'll have
you go on the other side, and I'm going to call out when I make my decision. Cross. Cross. Down. Cross. Down. Cross. Down. There you go. Cross. Down. Cross. Down. Cross.
I will show you a few more clips of players playing this drill for the first time. So first you will see Luis and then Michael, and you will hear that they make their decision after the ball has bounced, and then you're going to see Urban, who is a higher skilled player, and just note how early he makes his decision.
Cross. Down. Cross. Cross. Down. Okay. Cross. 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 Down. Down. Cross. Cross. Down. Cross.
In conclusion, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for your game to have a very clear and early intention. You've seen in the clips what a difference there is between a slightly less skilled player and a higher skilled player, what a difference there is in how early they make a decision. And so when a better player hits a better stroke, it is not just because they have a better mechanics, it is because they have a very early and clear intention. And so when your ability to have a clear and early intention improves, your game is going to improve dramatically. So don't neglect intention. It is one of the most important things in tennis, if not the most important, in my personal opinion.